Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our Final Fantasy Brave Extras video. And since there's not much to do going on, not much going on around in Final Fantasy Brave Extras right now, and a lot of people can't play, hopefully that'll be coming up by Monday. This isn't really going to be about that. We're going to try to distract ourselves a little bit and talk about something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. But there just hasn't been a lot of time to do it. There's been a lot of things going on, things like that. So finally we'll be able to talk about it. So, once upon a time, this was around the 11 banner or whatever Precious game is from. I think it's 11. That banner, a long time ago, there was something that went around in this group, which is probably just a bunch of people in a Discord server or something, hacked Gumi's little FTP server. I'm assuming that's what they were using because it's really unencrypted. Very easy to get in if you know what you're doing and if you have the proper information of doing it. Pretty sure that's what happened. So let's look at the information here. Thankfully we have it all archived. So we have the information here. This is what you would get if you went onto gumi.sg, I think it is, gumi.sg during a period of time, which I don't think it's... I personally don't feel like they would have a lot of traffic, but this is what would happen if you went into this website at this point of time, which was like 2017, I believe. So you would see, Gumi, guess what? You've been hacked by Hacks AC. Your security is a joke. Fortunately, we will not be touching any of your files. Kind of wish they did. But it would be very unfortunate if the source code of your 9 games were to say leak. Well, you know what? We don't actually feel like leaking anything today, but we do feel greedy. Let's see. How about sending us some change to this address? And that's like a encrypted code of some kind, like a BTC code. I don't really know a lot about this, unfortunately, guys. I wish I knew more about this to tell you guys, but I really don't know much about Bitcoin. So you'll all find a bunch of these repositories going around and on some high traffic Chinese forms. That should be cheap for you considering your KPIs. Yep, I saw those documents too. But maybe you don't care about the repository, so fine. And then they kind of leak a little bit of, it's kind of like, hey, they like lifted the jacket up, like, hey, we do have something on you. So we're not bluffing, we have something on you, and then they blow the code back. And then TikTok, and then there's some letters that I don't know. So, yep, this is what happened, and they did not, obviously, I don't think they paid anything, but I do believe they closed the website down, and then there was a long period of time, and then I think like a week passed, maybe, I think like a few days or a week passed, and then they got back into the game again. Somehow they hacked into the actual game itself, they injected themselves into the game, and they gave everybody 5,000 lapis. Not Gumi, the hackers did. And we didn't, at that point we were like, oh, well, we should spend it before they, take it away from us. Most people did spend it, including me. Unfortunately, it was on the Prish banner when she wasn't really that good. I wish it was on a more Precious banner, but okay. So most of you guys spent 5,000 lapis on the Prish banner, and I didn't. I remember I got nothing. It was like, oh, okay, well, it was free. So in the end, though, eventually they came out and said, we're not going to re-roll it. You get to keep the 5,000 lapis, and then they hugely apologized. One of the most apologetic states of the entire game that's been up. They were super apologetic, more than I've ever seen. That's what I meant to say. More than I've ever seen them in the history of this game. That's what I meant to say. So I never seen them more apologetic. They came up with a producer's letter. They came up with a huge compensation, even though I don't think they really needed to. I don't remember the compensation exactly, but it was like 5-star guaranteed stuff, and that's kind of all I really remember. Is there was a lot of 5-star guaranteed items that you could get and things like that. And yeah. So this was a big time, and we're not done just yet. We have one more thing. So they did eventually leak something. This is obviously not relevant any longer. This is very old now, and well, this isn't very good. I want to show you guys a better screen. All right, so you got a leaked schedule here. This is their calendar. So yes, they have a calendar, guys. I'm sure they still have one, but they have it on wraps now, guys. They secured it. They sealed up the holes so to speak. And they actually went out. It took them several days to do this, by the way. I remember this. They were panicking a lot, and eventually they were able to do the patch up work and actually get some actual security on a website for once. I mean, this is what you have to be doing, guys. When you run a website, you have to make it secure. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll have it on some old archaic formula and where people can easily get in if they know what they're doing." That's what happened. And I know that because I do this kind of thing. This is not technically, I don't really technically do this, but I know of it. I know what they did. It's boring. I don't want to explain it, but it's boring. But they knew what they were doing. So, enough talking. Here's a lot of things that they wrote up. I mean, a lot of it's kind of like boring, but there is some things like Halloween. And here's some. This is all prototype stuff, so there are things in here. And there's also something really interesting that we're actually finally getting into, either recently, like last year or the year before that. There's actually something that's interesting in here. Remember Cactuar Dunes and stuff like that? Remember when we had to do that kind of stuff because we barely had anything? Or Azalea 6-star upgrade? There's something interesting in there. And there's Ariana. The Ariana last event. I'm assuming that's when their contract update finished. Global exclusive gacha. That's okay. And there's a lot of things in here that are still in Japanese. But here's a lot of it. It's really interesting. Xmas gacha, Xmas event. They don't even know what's going on at that point. But here is the Ice Knight Lastwell, which is the CG Lastwell. The first, I believe he's the first CG, right? I'm pretty sure he is. Ice Knight Lastwell, though. I prefer that to, other than the cringe name that they made him. I don't even want to think about it. The cringe name of that. So, and then it comes all the way to the end there, and basically once that Sage Sakura came out, we ran out of things to know. Unfortunately, I wish we would have had a larger calendar than that, but that's it, guys. So. Here's the rundown. Everything here is on the wiki, by the way, so if you like to look at it. But everything here is old news now. Fire Glacial Lastwell, that's the Ice Knight Lastwell that was mentioned. And here's the most interesting thing, the UI update. So it doesn't look exactly like this, but we are getting, like a lot of things that are in here are kind of in the game now. It doesn't look exactly like this because this is a prototype. But we kind of got this, actually. Like, not exactly like this. I mean, this is pretty neat of a UI update, but we kind of got what this is showing here, guys. We kind of did get this, but this kind of looks a little cleaner. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is better than what we have in the game currently? I think this is pretty clean. I mean, for a prototype, this is actually pretty clean. That's it, though. So, what do you guys think about that? I think this is a very interesting time to be playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. This did happen a long time ago, and there's no way there's ever going to be hacking ever again, because I'm pretty sure they invested a lot of money into sealing up the cracks. Because I remember there was a huge panicking portion of the game when that happened, and they've, like I've said, they've never ever apologized this much. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I think I tried to look for it a long time ago and I couldn't find it, but I will try to find it. I'll try to find some information. Okay, so I can't find the letter yet. I'm trying to find it, but currently here's what we got. So a 5-star EX ticket and a 10 plus 1, plus some lapis, plus energy restores, plus summon tickets, plus some advanced tokens, plus ancient coins. I think that's the expedition stuff. And then not rolling back to 5,000 lapis, of course. And then there's some things, 900 lapis and some energy restores and some tickets and some more lapis, more lapis, more lapis, more lapis. And then at the end there's that 5-star ticket and things like that. So that's kind of what we got for compensation, even though we don't really need it. Alright, I can't find it, guys. Sorry about that. It's just, I guess it's just too far back. And the braveexvius.com website's not loading, and I think it might have been there as well. It's just not loading for me, so I can't find it. But basically, they were just apologizing for what happened recently, and they promised that they're going to be patching everything up, and they did. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you, and hopefully we'll be getting out of this problem that we're currently facing very soon. Make sure, I'm going to say once again, PCA, don't change over to Google until this is resolved, because you can't do anything until you are able to log in fully. So just don't change anything. Just hopefully we'll be able to just log in soon. I know you guys are upset about the shard dungeon. I am too. I'm being affected too, guys. I'm logged into Google or Facebook. I'm gonna be changing to Google after this. Trust me. And if you guys need help with that, I'm making a video on that as well. So see you in the next video. Peace.